Ever since I did my beautiful lawn area down here, I haven't been able to sleep. I've been worried that someone is going to steal my grass. I haven't slept for months now. Today we're going to do something about that. Now, I had planned to do this in lots of other places on the property at some point. It's just ended up that this has been the first semi-completed area, so this is where we're going to start. Over the last couple of weeks I've had power run down here, and then I ran a fiber optic cable as well down here because I've got now fiber optic from the front of the property to the back of the property, which means I can do a number of things, one of which is easy security cameras and Ethernet powered security cameras. So I don't need to rely on solar, I don't need to rely on the Wi-Fi, although I do have good Wi-Fi here because of this fiber optic system and wireless access points that I've put on my property. Look at that box, I did that. Let me show you inside what's going on here. So this is what we have here. I've had the power run into the box, it's a weatherproof box made for the outdoors, mounted onto this rock here. I've then got my fiber optic cable, which I ran. Fiber optic comes out here into this switch here, and then this switch can power a number of cameras or any Ethernet powered devices. I'm sure you can tell by my terminology that I'm no expert, but we're slowly getting there. And my plan today is to run 2 Cat6 cables, one of them to this sensational looking camera here. This is the Reolink PTZ. I don't even know what PTZ stands for. I know what it does. Maybe we should check that. A PTZ camera, pan, tilt, zoom. That makes sense. Now I got 2 of these. I set them up on other parts of the property just very basically, and they've been working fantastically. So I want to put one of them down here. The pan, tilt, zoom means that this thing can do like 360 and pan, tilt, and zoom. 4K quality. I will show you more about this once we've got it hooked up. I am no security camera expert, but after having these installed for a couple of weeks, I can see many uses for me. Now my use case is a little bit different from just using them as security cameras. It's going to be great for that, but it means I can have permanent cameras set up here. I'm going to have one mounted on that tree there, and then probably one mounted on that tree there. As high as I can, they'll be looking down onto this grassed area. So for me, I can then do live streams if I want. I can record wide shots while I'm filming equipment down here. I can do time-lapse videos of robot mowers. I even trialed a robot mower live stream where I had multiple cameras going, and the audience, just by their commands in the comments, were able to pick which camera they were watching. So lots that can be done. As mentioned, I am no security camera expert, but we're going to figure this out together. First thing I want to do is get the hole saw out, make a 25mm hole to be able to feed some conduit into there, and then we can start our first run of cable, I guess. I don't know, let's work it out. I feel like I should be drilling from the bottom up so all the debris falls down, but I don't know, maybe we'll give it a crack. Now I do feel I have to say that this is not a tutorial. I should change the name of the channel to not a tutorial, because that goes for everything that happens here. This is not a tutorial, just trying to get it done. I think a professional would probably clean up those sharp edges. Professional I am not. Will vacuum up all the little metal shards once I am finished though, because that does trigger me a bit. So now we have an entry point into our electrical box. And we can put some, we can get some conduit going in there, get a little elbow going here, and then starting in this little trench I've got going here. Now I'm going with the UV treated, less heavy duty conduit, because some of it may be going over a rock and be exposed to the sun. This will be backfilled here. This elbow will be underground. That'll work, we'll make it work. Yeah, it is just network cable, so I'm not too worried about the depth here. But it's gonna go through here. Here's my plan anyway. We'll see how we go as this goes along. I do plan to put it in the ground at some point. I wanna get the geo trencher here again, which does a nice, neat little trench, handheld trencher, just to slot this in the ground. So I will do that at some stage. So I wanna run this to the base of the tree there, run it behind the tree, and then I'll have the camera mounted facing that way. I'll also have a T going off there so I can chase it around there to the other tree. All right, not sure how well this is going to work, but I have my Cat6 cable attached to this. I don't know what they're called. Someone will, some Sparky will, or someone that's handy will know. We're going to just feed it through there. I'm going to feed it through each piece, then attach a piece, feed it through again. Again, don't know if that's what you would normally do, but that is what I'm doing. Coming nicely. Down you go. There we go. Now the cable is actually going in. Oh, there we go, it's popped out the other end. Oop. Might need two hands. Terrible angles. Anyway. All right, so we're at the first tree. None of this is obviously permanent like that, but will be buried eventually. There's the T piece because I'm going to be running another Ethernet cable through there, continuing on, but this one's going up this tree. I've got the length there. And then we're going to be going into a junction box. The Reolink cameras do come with their own little weatherproof system for these, but this kind of wet my whistle a little bit more, just yeah, having my Ethernet go in there, the Reolink go in there, which just fits snugly, and then that can just be mounted on the tree. That's the plan anyway. So I've had a slight change of plans. I feel like I'm rushing and I don't want to rush this. I want to do this properly and neat, so I'm gonna run the cable through the second one to about there, and then leave enough that I can get up the tree and just tape it off, put it in a bag or whatever so it's weatherproof. Then glue all these together. That means I can focus on that one later. I don't have a second one for here at the moment anyway, so there's no rush on that, but I really want to, because it is going over the rock, I want it to sit properly. I want to put some saddles on the rock, and I want to be able to cover it with something later. But yeah, so we're just going to get this one in action today, and then we'll be pre-wired for the next one. I skipped a few steps. There is my little junction box up the top there, looking tidy-ish. Obviously I'm going to have to give that little bush a trim, but there's our camera sitting pretty. You can see the blue network cable dangling in the wind. I need to terminate that at both ends. We've got our little RJ45 terminating kit. Haven't done it before, but let's see if we can work it out. Now, this took me far much longer than I care to admit, but I feel like I've got the hang of it now. Now, as always, I made that look a little harder than it actually was. But I'm now set up, and as of this clap, I am now on the Reolink PTZ. I am recording this through some software on my computer up in the shed. I'll just take you through a few of the things that this camera can do and just show you the quality. First up, we might as well see what the audio quality is like. I'm hooked up to my microphone at the moment to my camera, but we can easily just switch to the Reolink and you can hear what the quality is. You judge it for yourself, but I am at least 10 meters away at the moment from where the camera is and the microphone. I find it picks up a lot of stuff a distance away. I find it plenty good enough for me. One of the things I really like is you can set specific points for the camera. Like the home point, I guess you might call it, or monitor point, which is just like the home point that it goes back to, is saved, but then you can also save preset points. So I can move the camera to, it goes 360 degrees, but I can move it to any point, save that point, and then just with the, I was gonna say click of a finger, but it's probably more a tap of a finger, it'll just go back to that spot. Actually, here's a good test now. Car is going past, it will pick that up. So I'll show you simply from my phone how we can go to one of these preset points. I've got one here, just bottle tree. I don't know where I set that up, but I've pressed it, zoomed straight into it, much closer look of the bottle tree and myself. I've got a left side view of the grassed area here, a right side view as well if I want to be filming that portion of it. And it moves really, really quickly. Wide shot of the road. So you can leave it on any of those, and then just when you want to, you can just return to your monitor point, which I've got set as a wide shot of here. Now, if you want to look at something specific, you can just use the PTZ controls. So you can pan, tilt, or zoom. Pan meaning, you know, go left to right, tilt up and down, and zoom. I'll show you the zoom first. Let's zoom right in on myself and see how good that is. It is an optical zoom. There's me moving the camera too. I don't know, it blows me away just using these controls to zoom in on, you know, whatever I want or see whatever I want. You know, we can do a full lap if we want, go right round here, watch it turn right round on itself, through the bush, back at the tree, and then back round again. Here I am. That's doing a 360. It's obviously not dark at the moment, but it also has great night vision, well, what I think is great night vision, very clear picture, as well as a motion activated light if you want. You can have that on or off. Now for the PTZ controls, it's just a little dial. It kind of looks a little bit like your old school iPod control there. You just drag your finger wherever you want it to go. There's lots of little settings within as well. You can change the speed of the movement. It auto focuses, but you can focus it yourself manually. Now it's very good at detecting things as well, whether it be animals or people or vehicles. And you can set up for push notifications on your phone and it'll say that, you know, there's an animal that's entered the zone or a car or whatever. Now the other thing you can do with that is have auto tracking on, which will mean that you can set what type of tracking. So it could be for a person, a vehicle, or an animal, and if it sees one, the camera will actually follow that object after it's seen it. It's obviously spotted me. I'm not controlling the camera now at all, but it is now following me and doing a really good job of it too. Let's see if it can keep me in the picture. We'll try it with a bit of speed actually. Yeah, let's not do a hammy. It did its best while it could, but I'm pretty fast. So I've been finding new and interesting uses for it just through using the app. Now you can turn those notifications off. So if you want them to stop coming through at like 10 PM till 8 AM or something, you can set the times for when they come through. I do like to check in the morning and search for any animals that have been here. And you can see this grevillea here. Well, you probably can't even see it because it's been that demolished by the deer. I've seen them come in here and munch on this one as well as this one over here. I need to get, very off topic, but I need to get a sprinkler, motion activated sprinkler set up. I've got one in the shed that I've got to set up just to stop them eating my plants. To be able to view things that it's recorded, you do need to have an SD card in it. Let's show you what it looks like when it moves around. It's just following me now. It does make you can hear the motor on it, which is good. I would want someone to know that they're being watched. It does have a speaker on it too, so you can talk. Let's see if this works. Tap to talk. Get off my lawn. Very hard when you're the person speaking into it and hearing it, but I heard that quite clearly. You can get it to set off an alarm as well. I won't do that. Look, I've got to say, overall, I'm very excited about how this has worked out, and I've got good plans for having others around the property. I want to put some in the bush to do some wildlife spotting, so I do plan to get more. It's been really fun to use from a novelty standpoint, but also from a security standpoint, or seeing if you've got a delivery, or just seeing what's going on the property has been really handy as well. Anyway, that is the Reolink 4K PTZ camera. I really like it. I haven't got a lot to compare it to. I'm no security camera expert, but super stoked to have it here. Anyway, hopefully I'll sleep a little more sound now, knowing that if someone does try and steal my grass, at least I'll know. See you next time.